Good afternoon. My name is Marcos Gonzalez, and today you see me in a suit and tie. But if you were to see me 2 weeks ago, you would have seen me carrying this bucket right next to my dad. And if you would have seen me 2 weeks before that, you would have found me traveling around the world in 80 days. Now, today I've been given the honor of sharing my experience with all of you today. But before that, I want to share some of the challenges I've faced while growing up. You see, ever since I was a little kid, I've carried a burden on my shoulders. It was a financial burden brought onto me by my parents' line of work. You see, my parents are migrant field workers. There are two parts to that, migrant and field workers. The migrant part means I've moved 2 to 3 times per year since I was a little kid. The farm worker part of that means I've lived in poverty my entire life. Now, since I was migrant, I moved around a lot, but I consider myself from Immokalee, Florida. To tell you a little bit about Immokalee, it's very agriculturally dependent. Most of the people there are either from Haiti or Mexico, and they're immigrants from the respective countries who also go into agriculture. The school system there, the attitude towards education and going to college wasn't that very motivating. Most people just expected to get a degree and then just go into the field and pick these 30-pound buckets of tomatoes all day long. I'm probably getting ahead of myself right now. Let me go back to when I was 13 years old in middle school. When I was 13 years old, that's when I was strong enough to actually carry this 30-pound bucket. So every summer and weekend since I was 13, I've been working in the fields. There was points when I was in school with like stains on my hands that wouldn't come off. But every day I was in the fields, my dad would tell me the same thing and drive it home to me. He would say, Marcos, puedes estar aquí en el field toda tu vida trabajando en el sol, o puedes trabajar a la escuela, ir al colegio, agarrar tu educación, y trabajar en una oficina con aire acondicionado. What he said was, you can be out here in the field, breaking your back in the hot sun all your life, or you can go to college and get an education and work in a nice air-conditioned office. Okay, so I need to go to college, but my friends don't go to college. My family hasn't gone to college. What am I gonna do? How do I even start? I got my break with the Immokalee Foundation when they decided to sponsor me for a 7-week program at the University of Florida. There I did undergraduate research and received 6 credits. I was amongst 100 of the top students in the state of Florida. These were valedictorians and Ivy League students, and I was amongst them. After the program was done, I realized that I can do college, and I might actually be good at it. So the start of my senior year, I decided to enroll in dual enrollment, but that was an hour away from Immokalee. Okay, it was a sacrifice I had to make for my education. So every morning, I would drive to school for an hour, take my classes, and try to race back in time for baseball practice. I tried to keep my extracurriculars up in order to apply for colleges. Well, it all paid off. Eventually, I got my first acceptance letter from the University of South Florida. Okay, I'm in. Now how am I gonna pay for it? My parents can't afford it. So what I did was, I applied to every scholarship I could get my hands on. I was actually a finalist for the Gates Millennium Scholarship, which is worth $250,000. But due to my migrant lifestyle, my GPA suffered and it didn't meet the requirement. But thankfully, I got enough scholarships to attend USF for 3 years full ride. Now, once I was here, I looked around and I saw that I wasn't the only person here trying to get an accounting major, and I wasn't the only person here trying to apply to a Big 4 accounting firm. It was competitive. So I remember Dean Lamayam giving a speech about global literacy once, and I took that to heart. So what I did was, through the business honors program, I'm expected to go abroad, but once I went overseas, I just kept going full circle. So I went abroad to Florence, Italy for 6 weeks and there I was immersed in the rich history and Italian business culture for my time there. Then I got an accounting internship in Beijing, China for a month, with an international firm. After that, I went to Dallas, Texas with a firm called Deloitte, which is a Big Four accounting firm. Through this program, I could potentially land an internship in New York for the following summer. Although I spent time in Venice, Rome, Barcelona, London, Dubai, and Beijing this summer, I ended up in Hendersonville, North Carolina, back where I started. For 15 days, after my travels ended to when school started, I was working again next to my father. So maybe some things never change, or maybe they do. I'm a strong believer that big things have humble beginnings. Thank you.